In this episode, you'll learn why calmness creates the most ruthlessly strong individuals. Welcome to Energy Alignment for Entrepreneurs, the podcast helping entrepreneurs be free from anxiety, stress, and tension through balancing emotions and consciousness expansion. 3 things you'll discover today: how to be smooth when God sends you opportunities for consciousness expansion, why you don't need to plan, but rather be prepared for anything, and what to do if you have certain adversity that weakens you. Okay, we'll start with the latter. What to do if you have certain adversity that weakens you. Holistically, adversity, that word itself, creates an image in our mind that it's something we're battling with, something we're fighting. Now, this may very much be the case. I'll give you one of my personal examples, right? Eating before bed. I know I'm not alone with eating before bed. It's a habit that, if you look at it very straightforward, one of my favorite facts is pretty much that how you end today affects how you start tomorrow. Look at that in your life, right? It's very straightforward. It's simple. How you end today affects how you start tomorrow. And then insert unnecessary food, right? Especially if it's unhealthy food, excess sugar, excess dairy, etc. Things that make your internal clarity harder, right? For me, when I have excess dairy, creates excess mucus. Too much mucus, not fun to breathe through your nose. If you can't breathe through your nose, that affects your presence, doesn't it? Right? So now I'm not saying you can't be aware, be peaceful, be aligned, be here in the now if your nose is running. I'm not putting that box around you or I, but I am hinting at the likelihood. I am being very honest with you that the material is very much connected to the internal. And if we have certain adversity that weakens you, then even recognizing there's something that weakens you is a gift. Okay? Not blaming it, not outsourcing responsibility, not acting as if you have an addiction which you can't understand and then let go of, but being honest about the fact that certain things weaken you. Okay? Because there's this quote on my wall. Where is it? Wisdom can ultimately be reduced to the simple process of avoiding that which makes you go weak. Nothing else is really required. Now, that may be a simplification in terms of, hey, how do you actually avoid what makes you weak, right? That may be packed. But the essence is that if you can first notice something weakens you, then you at least have the awareness, and you'll never improve or change something which you're not first aware needs to change. Yeah. So it's that shining light, that looking genuinely without judging yourself. See, and that's why I bring up my definition of adversity, the implication of the use of the word adversity, because it implies there's a battle. If there's a battle, then this thing is going to be much heavier. Now, right? It's one thing to carry a weight, and you carry the weight not because you have to. You carry the weight because it was given to you. And there's meaning within carrying the weight. Okay? That's a lot different than putting out fires that never had to be there at all. Carrying a meaningful weight cannot be confused with putting out unnecessary wildfires that you self-perpetuated. So, what I'm saying there is the word adversity can be let go of. It's really, there are certain things that weaken you. And when you look at that, then you can change it. You can only change something that you've looked at, that you continuously look at, that you question. Yes. I'm not going to tell you how to change. I'm not going to give you habits. That's modality, that's systemization, that's method, that's thought, that's limitation. You in your heart are wise enough to be your own authority. I will not give you anything to conform to. Don't believe me, don't accept anything I say. I am no more wiser than you. Okay? Now, why you don't need to plan, but rather be prepared for anything. This is the man who carries the weight. He doesn't know when the muscle is going to be necessary. He doesn't know when the courage is going to need to be instilled. He doesn't know when the waters will need to be parted. He simply understands who he is. When you live your life in that manner, where you're prepared because you know who you are and you know the weight that's been given to you, you change this world and you change your heart. You change your heart first, and then that undeniable clarity, that undeniable relationship, that newfound energy in space ripples like the rock when you toss it in the water. It can't be ignored. It can't be ignored. If we have a tsunami coming our way, every single ant knows it's coming. Ants are no different from the man who carries the weight. It's all one and the same. Now, how to be smooth when God sends you opportunities for consciousness expansion. Okay, and we'll bridge this into being prepared for anything because the opportunities for consciousness expansion are the trials, the tribulations, the hardship that makes you prepared for anything. See, if you don't carry a weight, if you don't almost drown, then how are you prepared to save the monkey when it's drowning in the Amazon River after a big rain? And you're not going to have the balls to do it. But if you've almost drowned before and you know that you can swim and you're not scared of drowning again, then you're going to go save that little monkey. You're going to go do what your heart calls you to do. When you live your life connected to heart, aware of gut, present in mind, you embody in essence that our humanity is needing. You sow seeds for eternities that you may not see physically, but you understand the seeds are meant to be sown. You don't control whether it's a strawberry, an orange, or a blueberry. You sow and you sow and you sow. It doesn't matter if you're there for the harvest. That's not what you're attached to. It matters that you live this life with awareness, that you look at those opportunities that may be initially labeled as, why did it happen to me? Oh no, whoa, duh. And then you notice that. You notice that little meh, 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 however it sounds within your head, right? I'm being playful here. I could use words and make it sound heavy and serious, but this is the essence of the self. It wants things to be different. Well, guess what? Look at how it is. Can you? Can you look at how it is? Because if we look at how it is, then we learn. If we want it to be different, oh, self-perpetuation. That is hell. Hell is not down. Hell is not like this. And that's the problem with religion. And that's why I speak the way I do. Why? Because I know that most people can't even understand what I'm saying. You know why? Because the message isn't for everyone. I would much rather speak metaphorically, in parables, through truth, guided with a new energy. Then, and that doesn't make me special, I put that out there consistently because this isn't about me. It's not about the man who speaks. Not about the guy called Justin Gliskus. He's here, sure, he has a message. That doesn't matter. What matters is that we unite, that we learn, that we see that this is one game, one song, and there is an essence that will fuel our awakening, our new world. And I'm not saying a perfect world. I'm not saying no. I'm saying you as a human being can listen to your heart. I don't have an image, I don't have a vision. All I know is that the vision is within humanity's heart. So it's not about a utopia. It's not about doing some weird shit like Hitler did. No, it's about each human learning how to tune in to what's always been here. And that's you. That's your awareness of your distortions. That's looking at the mirror, which is in everyday life. This is even a mirror for me, being able to speak like this. I don't care who hears it. I don't care when you hear it. All I know is you hear it right now, right? And I know what it creates in me when I share this. Bingo. Bingo, right? We have a winner. It's this game, it can feel complicated. Dare I say, it's not that complicated. Let's learn. Let's do this work. You know? Let's go. So, recap how to be smooth when God sends you opportunities for conscious expansion. Create some space. Start with the physical, right? If you're really trapped, start with the physical. Exercise, stretch, get fresh air, walk the dog, cut your hair, groom, shower, clean the house, write. Start with the physical. Do something. Pen to paper. Do something. That's healthy, right? Not scroll. Okay, I digress with what not to do. I'm not a big guy to tell you what to or not to do. That's really not my realm. I'm speaking to the individuals who are aware enough to understand that they are their own authorities. I'm not your authority, not me. Now, why you don't need to plan, but rather be prepared for anything? Well, oh baby, you don't know what's going to happen in your life. So you better be prepared for the greatest of dreams to enter your life. You better be prepared to have miracles, to have power that you could have never logically understood. Because power comes to you when you show source that you know how to wield power. Yeah. Now, what to do if you have certain adversity that weakens you? Drop the word. Look at the word. Look at the implication behind the word. Adversity, is it a battle? Is it me versus this? That's quite separate. Or is this where you're at, right? And this is your relationship to your life. And who are you when you weaken yourself, right? Sit with that person who you are when you're weak. Is that who you are? That's for you to find out, right? That's for you to question deeply. Summary: hey, we're here. I appreciate you. Big hug. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you. New episodes out Monday, Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. You want to learn more? Check the link in the description. You get the details on how I could potentially help you be free from anxiety, stress, and tension. So you can stop feeling empty inside. So you can create the body of your dreams, attract the relationship of your dreams, start to create real wealth in a aligned manner. I'm not saying this is a business offer, but energy first. Then you'll create wealth, and I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that. Let's go.